Today I've got a delivery and some preloading, but first I've got probably the most important question I could probably ask anybody that cuts firewood. It's a question that has come up in my comments several times, and I think it deserves an answer. I had a new subscriber ask me a very, very important, very good question. He wanted to know, how many chainsaws do I have? and what kind? Obviously, he's a new subscriber. I have a few chainsaws and I have a variety, but I'm going to show you them right now. And in the comments, I want you guys to tell me, because I want to do a survey with all of you, because all of you have probably chainsaws and you probably cut firewood and you probably have a brand that you like, or you may have several different brands. So what I want you guys to do for me and for the community as a whole, I want you in the comments to write down, how many chainsaws do you have and what kinds? You don't have to get super specific and list, 100 different chainsaws that you got and all the different makes and models. Just say something like 12, 3 steel, 5 echo, whatever else. Put down what it is. Or if you've got 7 chainsaws and they're all Husqvarna, just put that in there. That would be, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple. It would be cool for everybody to look and see what everybody's got. And you don't have to give a big long description about how long you've had it and how you inherited from your Uncle Joe when he passed on, and one from your grandpa, and one that you got from a garage sale. Don't put all that in there. We don't need to see all that. Just want to know how many, what brands. Keep it simple. All right, let's go look at mine. Well, there's some saws behind me, and the reason I have these saws here is I used to store a bunch of my photography stuff back here, but I'm slowly converting a lot of the stuff that I have back in my storage area to chainsaw things. So on these shelves here, I've got some saws, and I'm probably going to be converting my office, which is through the wall over that way, into a chainsaw room. And I plan on putting a workbench in there and then shelves where I can put saws and have a proper way of storing them, displaying them. Right now they're just all kind of sitting on the shelf here. I just counted. I have 12 chainsaws. That's all. Not that many compared to what a lot of you have. Ideally, you want to have a saw that is going to work for big stuff, medium stuff, little stuff, a spare saw. Average guy, I think, if you cut wood for yourself and you're heating your house or you're cutting your own wood, a couple saws is probably adequate. I know I was talking to Al from TKP, and he has 2 chainsaws at all times. That's pretty much it. But he buys a new one every year. So he's constantly cycling. Every 2 years, a saw leaves, a new one comes. And I believe he runs 592 Husqvarnas. I think it was one of them. And I think then he's got a 572. That's what I think he's got. I'm not sure exactly. But that's kind of what he's been running. And smart way of doing it. So, and he's a professional logger kind of guy. 2 saws. He told me that's all he needs. I like 3 because I like to start with all 3 saws gassed up, oiled up, sharpened up, go through the 3 of them, take a break, sharpen them all up, refuel, and then go again. And then do it again, and then do it again if my body lasts that long. So 3 is what I like. Now, right now I have, you can see on the top shelf here, there's a 562 right there. This is a 572. This is a 572 XPG. And this is my 592. And then down here I got the big boys. I got my new 3120 with a 5-foot bar. Goes all the way back there. And then I've got my old 3120 with a 42-inch bar. This is my box that has all of my saw stuff in it. Spare chains, sharpening equipment, safety stuff, all the things I need when I go cut wedges. I just keep it all in there. And then down on the bottom shelf, I've got some saws that were given to me. These 2 were given to me by Scott from Modern Rentals. I want to do some special things with them. He gave them to me a while ago. I just haven't gotten to it yet. We're going to do some experiments with these. And then this little guy is a $99 chainsaw that I bought at Menards just to test it out and do some stuff with. So those I'm going to do some specialty things with. So I don't really cut with those. Those are just spares we're going to do some things with. And then the other one I have here is this little 540. And I really like this one for a nice little saw. So I guess I'd have to say, if I had to choose the most important ones that I have, I would say number 1, I would pick my 592 all day, every day. I love it. It cuts fast. It's big. It's powerful. It does everything I need it to do. Second, For sure, I would pick the 572 XPG, heated handlebars here in Wisconsin. Heated handlebars are nice, that's what the G is. And then after that, I would have to say I would go to probably the 562 and my spare 572. And then this little guy down here, the 540. If I had to pick just 3 saws, I would go 92, 72, and a 540, because that little 540 comes in really handy for doing small jobs, limbing, stuff like that. So if I was a guy that wanted to have 3 saws that would kind of cover all the bases, that's what it would be. A 90cc, a 70cc, and then a 40cc. And that's what I would pick. But I'm not that guy. I like having a spare saw, so really I consider this being my number 1 saw, my number 2 saw, my number 3 saw, my number 4 saw, and then a little one for when I'm really tired if I just got to do a little bit of limbing. The big ones back here, honestly, they're toys. I just wanted one, so I got one. And then they had a really good deal on the 3120, a brand new one. That was a deal I couldn't pass up, so I bought that. And my plan is to eventually sell this older one here, which runs great. It runs really nice. There's really no difference between them as far as how they run. They're great. It is a 120cc chainsaw. Fun toy, I gotta say. If you're an arborist, you need something like that. If you're felling huge timber, you might need something like that. If you're cutting lumber, if you're doing live edge type stuff and you're doing some chainsaw milling, that's a good choice. I've talked to several guys that do a lot of that with chainsaws. And one guy in particular I talked to was at the Paul Bunyan show probably 3 years ago. He was doing a demonstration and he had a 3120 and he had a steel 880, not an 881, it was the older one. And I asked him which he liked better. He said, hands down, 3120. He said, it starts easier, it runs better. That was what he said. So he was looking for another one at the time. Anyway, so there's my saws. I forgot the two. I got to show you one more. There's one more I have. So there it is. That's the other one I have. Now, this is not mine. And the reason I'm showing you this, that I have it here, because I get given to me saws to try out quite often. Husqvarna is working with me quite a bit. They're having me try out new stuff. So this is the new 550 IXP chainsaw, battery operated one. It's got a little battery and a big battery. And they gave that to me to try out for a while. I also am getting some other saws to try out. I tried out the 564, and that's going to be coming out soon. Maybe by the time this video is out, they'll be out. They're coming out real soon. And I'll be getting one of those. I'm on the order list to get one. And I eventually want to get a couple stills. Oh, I forgot. I also own an Echo. I've got a 7310, but it's not here. I forgot about that one. Adam has got it right now. We used it just the other day to do a job where we cut some trees down for a farmer. So I also own a 7310, and that was actually given to me by Echo to try it out and to use it. And it's actually mine, but Adam has it and he does stuff with it, because he always says if I need it, just let him know, he'll bring it, but he can use it all he wants. He helps me quite a bit. And then Adam's got a bunch of saws, and I know that a lot of you are very brand loyal. I am only brand loyal to Husqvarna. Well, there's several reasons why. And number one reason would be is that when I started cutting, I had a Poulan Wild thing way back in the 80s. And it was just cutting firewood for myself. And then my brother Ken said, get a real saw. So I went and I bought a Husqvarna 450 Rancher. And he said, that's not a real saw. That's a toy. That's a weenie saw, as he called it. A 50cc saw. And it did everything I needed it to do at the time. I was just cutting firewood for myself for the fireplace in the backyard fire pit. And then when I decided to actually get serious, I went and I bought a 576. Loved it. I called it the angry saw because it was just, when it runs, it was like it was angry. It was a good saw. I had that for a couple of years, and then I bought another one. And the first one I had, I sold, and then I had the newer one, and I ran that, and it ended up here. It needs some work, and I didn't want to spend the money on it. So it's just after I took parts off of it, we cannibalized it to make a complete saw that I then sold. So I guess I have another one up there, but that doesn't really count. It's just a part saw. And the reason I went with Husqvarna is my brother Ken had Husqvarnas. He's got a lot of 372s. He's got a 395, a 562. He's run a little bit of everything. And in his area, Husqvarna is the saw. Also, my dad had Husqvarnas because in his area there was a dealer. So that's kind of what I went with. Not that there's anything wrong with steel, But in my opinion, because of my position with being able to try stuff out and having the YouTube channel and doing videos for you guys to see and try things, Husqvarna is working with me. They say, what do you need? What would you like? Here's an event. Would you like to come? We want to try this out. Here, try this out. I got this helmet right here, this new Pro helmet. It's the new MIPS helmet. All my chaps. I get hats, hoodies, t-shirts, gloves, axes. I get all kinds of things to try out because they know that social media marketing works. The other company, the other big one, not going to name them, they don't get it yet. They just aren't doing that kind of stuff. And I don't know why, because that's where the marketing's going, as a lot of you know. You guys want to hear from guys like me. What do you really think? I don't want to see an ad. I don't want to see a company-produced, slick promotion talking about all the perfect things and how theirs is so great. People like you want to hear, how does it really work? What do you really think? What don't you like? What would you fix? What would you change? That's what you guys want to hear. So in the comments, like I said, how many chainsaws? What brands do you have? That's it. Right now I'm going to go load some wood and we're going to do a delivery. All right, we just got here to the wood yard. I'm going to load up 1/3 of a cord into the trailer. We're going to go deliver that, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to load it right back up again because I got another delivery tomorrow morning first thing. So I'm going to get it loaded up now, and then I got a delivery after that one tomorrow. I'm going to put it into the truck. So I'm going to load up this one and come back and do 2 more, but they're for tomorrow. Beautiful day today. It's about 15 degrees, sunny, and when I was at my place, my business, I was outside and there was no wind. I mean, just a little bit. Out here, it's windy. It's like a 10, probably 15-mile-an-hour wind, so it's a little chillier because of the wind. It's amazing how much windier it is here all the time. It's wide open, of course, so awesome place for drying wood, no doubt about it. So I had a question in my old wood yard where I'm going to probably be moving back to, is that, oh, it's not going to be as good as this. Well, I dried wood just fine there for years at my other place. And I'm going to be able to, once I get the fence put up and get all the work done that I need for making the improvements with gravel, I'll be able to move out away from the tree line and get out in the open. So it'll dry just fine there. Because there was a couple questions like, oh, your wood's not going to dry as good. Maybe not quite as good, but good enough. All right, let's chuck some wood. So I just did a delivery, you saw that. Now that's the load that I put in yesterday into the truck. This was a order that I have done probably 5 or 6 times now, where the guy just tells me, hey, bring me $200 worth of wood. Hey, bring me $100 worth of wood. Hey, bring me $300 worth of wood. And I just told him, I said, well, I usually sell stuff by the cord. He says, well, whatever. He says, just, I got 300 bucks. Bring me that much wood. Well, this time he said, bring me $100 worth. So I basically filled up the back of the truck, the bed of the truck. It was a little less than 1/3 of a cord or face cord, and he said he wanted bigger chunks. So I tried to pick out the bigger stuff yesterday and put that into the truck. There was beech and ash and hard maple in there. It's for a fireplace, and he was telling me that they cut their heating bill in about half by burning wood in the fireplace. And so this is the 3rd time I've been there this year, and the first time I delivered 2/3 of a cord, second time 2/3 of a cord, and this time just 1/3. So far he's bought 1 2/3 cords, and it's only January, just beginning of January now. So he's got a long ways to go if he wants more wood. So, but he just doesn't have anywhere to go with it. So we put it into his trailer, and then he drives around his yard into the backyard and backs up to his patio, he said, and then he throws it in the back of the patio so he can access it. A whole bunch of cars in the driveway, so there's really nowhere to go with the wood. And he says, I'll just go get my trailer. So that's what we did. And I have several people that will do that. They'll put it in a trailer and then they will park it in the backyard and just take it from there. So that works for some people. Now, the other load that I got on here, this is already loaded. This is 1/3 of a cord also. It's going to a guy that buys 2 or 3 a year again. All right, we're going to hook up the trailer. We're going to go do this delivery right now. All right, so as you can see here, all I gotta do is hook this up and go. I loaded this yesterday, and I did have a lock on this. I put a lock on my trailers on the front where you hook it up. I got a lock on there, and then I got a wheel lock I put on the back of them too. So they're double locked because I'm not here, and there's not much out here where my business is, so it'd be pretty easy for someone to come and steal stuff. The other thing that I do is I have devices on all of my equipment, so I know where it is at all times. There you go, Shiroku. So yeah, it's snowing again today. We're supposed to get another 1.5 to 2 inches. They said something like that. So it's like every other day we've been getting snow. It just kind of keeps adding up. So I'm gonna have to snow blow again at the end of the day if it quits snowing. Yesterday I didn't. We had about an inch and a half yesterday, and again today. So it's always work to do. So for those of you that haven't been around, this is my baby dumper, the little bitty one. If I throw the wood in loose, I can get 2/3 of a cord in here. If I stack it, I can get a full cord. But I do use this a lot when I do just 1/3 cord deliveries. And the reason I do that is I only have to fill it up halfway, and I know exactly how much wood I've got, and it works great. And if I throw wood in and I think it looks like it's 1/3 of a cord and that's what they want, I throw in some extra, and everybody's happy. Got a guy in the comments just the other day, he says, "You're dishonest. You're not delivering the right amount of wood. There's no way you can know how much wood you got unless you stack it." He's wrong. I know how much wood I got in here. It's not 1/3 of a cord, which is what he ordered. There's more than 1/3 of a cord in there because I threw extra in. You know who's happy? Me. Don't have to stack. You know who else is happy? Him. He got extra wood. All right, that's all I got to say on that. Let's go down the road. Alright, so we're heading down the road, and again, for those of you that...
Take the next left onto Technology.
Can I take a left here? Or go to the parking lot.
1,000 feet, turn left onto Technology Drive.
Okay, I'll do that. Woo, she's slippery today. Greasy, greasy, greasy roads. So, like I was just saying about the extra service that you get at a restaurant when they bring you the, the extra rolls or the extra chips or the extra soda that you're drinking or whatever it is, and you appreciate it. Well, my Firewood customers are no different, and neither are yours. Ooh, I gotta take a left here.
Left onto West Prospect
I gotta take another left. Lots of lefts. And people really appreciate getting the extra wood. I know whenever I
Stop sign.
either
Turn left onto West Prospect Avenue.
gotta take another left. When we're stacking the wood, if people come out and help me, a lot of times people will have, it's the husband, it's the wife, and one of the kids, and then me. And a lot of times all I do is I just set the wood on the tailgate, or I toss it off onto the ground, and they stack it.
In a quarter
while
mile, turn right onto Cold Spring Road.
I'm gonna take a right. Ooh, is it slippery? Holy smokes! So as we're stacking it, we put it into their rack that they've got, because a lot of people have racks that are 8 feet wide, 4 feet high, the metal ones that you can buy, or they have their homemade rack made out of 2x4s or something like that, and it's almost always the same size. And when we fill it up, it's more than 1/3 of a cord, always. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of wood here. Like, yep. And I will say something about, yeah, I threw extra in, is that okay? And they're like, you mean we get to keep it all, or do you want to? We're gonna take it right here. They'll say, well, do we have to pay extra? Or they'll say, well, we don't have to put all this in the rack,
Road for 2 miles.
Okay, I'll do that. They'll say, do you want some of it back, or we're not going to take all this, are we? It's like, no, it's all yours. There's extra in here. I'm giving you some extra wood. I said, is that okay? Because up to now, I've never had anybody say, oh, you gave me too much wood. Usually they're like, awesome, thanks so much. And I get a lot of tips when I mention that. So there's that. So whenever people say something like, wow, that's a lot of extra wood, thanks so much, here's an extra 20 for you, here's an extra 10. It happens a lot. And the people that tip me the most, how do I say this nicely, are the people that look like they can afford it the least. I don't know if that's the case for you guys, but it is for me. It's the people that are just your average 3-bedroom ranch owners where they both work and they got kids and they appreciate it. I have noticed the people that are that have the perception of the big house on the hill kind of people. I don't know how to say it nicely. Those are the ones that tip the least, usually. Least often, I should say. I do get tips from people that have McMansions, but not as much as the people that are just... That's all I got to say about that. Okay, we're gonna go deliver some wood right now. The trailer is disconnected. My deliveries for today are done. And I got another job I'm going to go do now, but you're going to see that tomorrow. I'm going to help Adam at the farmer. We're going to cut up some of the cut up the trees that we cut down the other day on the fence line. We're going to cut rounds, I think, and clear up brush and stuff like that. Maybe we'll even have a brush fire, but that'll happen tomorrow. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Adam just said, hey, I'm heading out if you want to come help. And I like cutting stuff, so that's what we're going to do. Going to cut for a few hours anyway before I get something else. So that'll happen tomorrow. Come on back, 5:30 a.m. I'll be there. You should be there too. Right now, go watch all the other videos. There's 2,000 waiting for you. Good night, Irene.